Well, that was interesting. How about questions? Probably know the answer to most of them, but how about questions?
Obviously, the turnovers, coach, played a major factor in the beginning and the overall factor of this game. So just address that.
Yeah, JB. We went into the game feeling like defensively, we had to make them earn what they got, not give them a lot of cheap touchdowns, and of course they can earn them, but just make them work for them. That was our goal defensively. And offensively, like most years, or most games, we went in trying to take care of the football. And I don't know if this is true or not, but we had 7 turnovers today. I think we've gone a season before without 7 turnovers, maybe 8, somewhere in the ballpark, right? We had as many turnovers today as we've had nearly in a whole season before. And I think we had 5 interceptions total coming into the game today, maybe. And it was just a comedy of errors. And that's the thing. The turnovers, I think the turnovers led directly to 38 points, maybe 45 points, but I don't know for sure, but still a bunch, where the defense didn't even hardly get on the field. I think if I remember, we were down like 35 to nothing maybe, and I don't think the defense had hardly been on the field. It was really unbelievable. So, I don't know what to say other than turnovers really hurt.
How much of the turnovers are a result of their athleticism and their ability to create them versus you making mental mistakes?
Oh yeah, I don't think there's any question that I would like to say that it's mainly our mistakes, but I think we're playing a really, really good football team, and certainly Josh's fumble that got picked up and run in, the interception that got carried back to right at the pylon. One of the things that hurt us so badly today, the turnovers were backed up. So we gave them. They either scored on defense or we gave them really short drives to score. And I think I'd like to say that it was totally us shooting ourselves in the foot, but a big part of that was Florida State. And you got to give them a lot of credit. That's a really good football team. We really came in feeling like we needed to run the football today, and we just couldn't have any success. We had a little bit early. Josh had a couple nice runs on the outside, but I think overall we couldn't get much push inside on the offensive line, and couldn't run the football very effectively. And of course, we threw so many picks in the first quarter. We just got ourselves right out of the football game without too much effort on our part. So I think we played a really, really good football team. I thought today, coming into the game, I knew that they were very explosive offensively. They've got a great quarterback and a great supporting cast. I really like their offensive line. I think they got some big playmakers at receiver, and I think the quarterback's special. Running backs, I like those guys. So I knew that offensively they were very explosive, and I thought Jameis Winston, might be the best player in the country. I don't know, but he's a great player, and we knew that the defense had their work cut out for them, but a lot of people overlooked this defense, Florida State's defense, and that was my biggest concern going in, was not necessarily taking care of the football, but making first downs. I thought we were going to have to scratch out first downs against these guys, and never dreamed that we'd come into the game, though, and turn the ball over 7 times.
Is Tanner healthy, and will he be the starting quarterback when you reassemble the practice?
I would think so, Dan. I don't know. We'll have to look at it. I thought, we just got in a position where it was good to let Tyler, he's a freshman, and he's got I think, a good future for us. So it was time to let the young guy play, and that'll totally be Tommy's decision. But we think Tyler's got a lot of ability. He's just so young. He hadn't been doing it a lot. So we'll look at that next week and kind of have something figured out by Duke week.
And Tanner's fine.
I think, oh yeah, health-wise he's fine. He's not fine mentally, obviously. He's disappointed too. Just didn't see that. Didn't see these turnovers coming like they did. I wouldn't be surprised to have a couple against this defense because they're so talented. But to have 7, I would have never thought that would have happened.
Seems like a couple of those, especially early. It's almost like they knew the play because they were right in the right spot, and Tanner was throwing to the spot and he was running back or whatever was right there.
Well, I thought, Michael, we had 2 that I'm thinking of right now that I thought were not good throws. A couple of them I thought they just made great breaks on the ball. I mean, really just good defensive football. Kind of came and took the ball away from us. And the thing that you get into is you can't make many mistakes against these guys because they are very, very talented. So you don't have to be off too much to have these guys come and get and take it from you. But certainly I thought that they played great, made a couple great plays, but I thought we made a couple poor throws too.
Coach, in your 13 years here, is this the best team you've faced?
Well, I think so. I was trying to think back if there's anybody that was better. We've played a couple of top 5 Florida State teams in the past. We've played a couple really good Virginia Tech teams. We played a really good Miami team back when they had Devin Hester and some of those guys, but I don't think there's any question. From my standpoint, in 13 years, it's the best one we faced.
How big is it important is it to have an off week, and what else what's your practice schedule, and do you expect with those injured players who missed today, Thompson and Chase, will they have a chance to return?
Well, I think this is a time, Rob, typically you never want to have an open date after a loss. But I think at this time, as banged up as we are right now, we had some guys today. Zach could not have gone, but he was much closer today than we were waiting until today to kind of see if he could go. Stephen Chase is a concussion, so he should be fine. He was kind of a game day decision also. We'll get some guys healthy with a week off, and we'll give them Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll still lift weights, but basically those will be 3 good academic days and no football. We'll get back together on Thursday and have a light practice, and then go back to work for real on Friday and Saturday, and then probably be done by noon on Saturday and cut them loose till Monday. So try to let them have some rest and heal up a little bit, and then try to get back together and start looking at Duke.
Coach, you talked about how a lot of people were looking at Jameis Winston coming in, Heisman front runner and all that or whatever, and a lot of people were overlooking their defense, and you just spoke upon that. Do you feel like your offense was a little bit shell-shocked at how talented they were right out of the gates with forcing all the turnovers that they did?
Yeah, we thought that they were very talented inside. We thought their 2 defensive tackles were really, really pretty special. And, of course, Florida State's always had an aggressive defense, but we thought this might be the most athletic group of linebackers and secondary guys that we had played. But I think, the combination of them being really, really good and us not playing very well was not good today. We had total respect coming into the game. We knew it was going to be tough. We knew we were fighting uphill against these guys, but just really disappointed because I thought their defense played great today, but I don't think we played very good at all offensively, and that's disappointing that we didn't compete better with these guys.
The obligatory state of mind of the team, we always have the question we always have to ask, concern of getting your team back for the last 2 games, which you have to win the last 2 games to have a chance to go that low.
Well, I think, Dan, I'm hopeful that our team's not in a very good frame of mind right now. I would like to think that they're not real happy about the way we played today. The hardest part for us is probably not today, but after Miami, then after Syracuse, and then today, our guys are just worn out, and we really. And I think that's probably mentally as well as physically. I don't think there's any question about that. So maybe a couple days kind of catching our breath a little bit and getting away from football for a couple days will be good for us. Get some rest, kind of get our batteries recharged a little bit, will probably help us mentally as much as physically. But we've still got stuff to play for. You know, that's the good thing. We're not out of playing games for something that you know, for meaning. You know, with Duke and Vanderbilt left, nothing more important than the next one in Duke. But we still have a chance to be in a bowl game with this group, and I think you know, there's a lot to play for. So you'd like to think that when you got good guys, and I think we do, good kids, I think you'd like to think that they're certainly embarrassed and disappointed right now, but at the same time they know that getting in a bowl game would be pretty good stuff. But we got to play much better than we did today. I told them today, we won't beat anybody playing the way we did today offensively.
You kind of had this cycle early in the year where you weren't playing what you like to call deep ball, and then you got back on track for a while, and then you hit this skid here. Is there a way to recycle that again and get you guys back to playing what you like to call deep ball again, where you're playing, you know?
Yeah, I think you know, it's going to be interesting to see you know, what we think you know, going into the Duke game is going to be, you know, the best stuff we can do for our guys. We really came in today and felt like we needed to be able to run the football, and we really worked on that all week and didn't do that very well. And of course, you know, I think one of our big points of emphasis is taking care of the football coming back. But you know, I think we've had some really good games this year. I think we've had a couple stinkers, and you know, a couple we could have won that we didn't win. But you know, we're going to have to play better offensively. I mean, there's just no question. We've got to do that if we're going to beat Duke or Vanderbilt, and it's not going to be easy. But we just got to find a way. So you know, I think our defense today played really hard. I thought they you know, came out with a mindset, and just I was proud of the way they hung in there, because it was, you know, I think I like I said, I don't know what it was, but you know, somewhere after about 35 points, I think they'd had one, you know, the one nice drive that they had, and the defense is looking up there at 35 points, and 28 of it's put on the board by the offense, and so that's a time when your guys can really get down. I think attitude-wise and mentally, but I never sensed that out of our guys. I felt like our guys continued to go out and rally and try to play hard, and so that was, you know, one of the encouraging things is I think our defensive kids didn't have their eyes on the scoreboard. They just kept playing.
I think the stat was they had 35 points and 102 yards of total offense. Was that it, Rob?
Yeah.
102 yards and 35 points.
Wow. Yeah. That's tail of the tape right there. Yeah, absolutely. And what's amazing to me, what's really an amazing thing, I told Jimbo before the game, but I mean, you're talking about a football team that had 11 kids drafted last year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, you look at this football team, and I think it's probably the best one we faced since I've been at Wake Forest, and that's after they lost 11 guys to the NFL last year. So, pretty special football team, and I think Jimbo and his staff are doing a great job, and obviously not only coaching but in recruiting. You know, they've got good players, and as well a coached football team as we've seen in a long time.
Thanks, Coach.